Why don't you love you the way you should? I mean, what's making you depressed? What's making you anxious? What's making you cry? What makes you feel disappointed in you? I think so many times we try to do things on earthly standards instead of looking at things God's view. See, it says this in Jeremiah 29. Before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. Think about it, how great you are. Before God put that little embryo and all that in your mama's belly, God thought about what color hair you were going to have. Matter of fact, he even thought about what region on this planet you would be born in, what nationality, and maybe those little freckles on your face, or the jawline you have, or the sense of humor you have, the hair you have or lack thereof. But I mean, think about it. Everything about you, God was specific about, and so many times we minimize that instead of realizing we are part of God's handiwork. And we compare ourselves to the world instead of realizing we're unique. That God loves you just the way you are, no matter how tall, how short, how thin, this, that, and everything else that we judge on world standards instead of judging on God's standards. And God says, you're beautifully made, woven in your mother's womb. And he has a purpose and a plan for you. But the problem is we don't look at ourselves the way God looks at ourselves. We look at ourselves with all our mistakes, all our disappointments, all the rejection, all the hurt, all the betrayal, all the disappointments, all the failures, all the mistakes we've made, and we judge ourselves off of that. And we usually go down this rabbit hole, and our lives dwindle more and more away from who God created us to be. Listen, I want to remind you today, don't give up on you. God loves you. God cares about you. He created you. You're wonderful. You're beautiful. You're unbelievable. But you got to start to believe that about yourself. Listen, remember, before he formed you, he knew you. Everything about you was intentional. I want to encourage you to learn to love yourself today. Stop judging yourself. Stop condemning yourself. Stop speaking bad about yourself, and begin to claim your identity as a child of God, wonderfully and beautifully woven and made by God's hands. Hey, also remember this. God loves you, and so do I. I pray I see you soon.